He can grab them right out of the air. I've got to get there first. Hey, Raccoon! Looking for a bat snack? Well, breakfast is served. Come and get it! That's it. Eyes on me just a little bit longer. Sorry, Raccoon. Little brown bats are off the menu. And me too!
These kids are incredibly cool.
They love animals, including bats.
Oh, wow! Yay! Yay!
It's working! Kids in the target zone and kids from all over North America are reporting bats are moving into the bat boxes. Yay! But what about mine, which I'm gonna put up for a special little bat who might want to live right close to a real bat lover with a super batitude.
Hey guys, you're not gonna believe this.
What?
You know where Bite Size is headed?
Where?
The Tortuga!
Welcome to your new home, Bite Size. And I want you to know I really, really, really like you now.
And you know what else, Koki? You put your zucchini plants in the right spot.
Because every time Bite Size goes to the bathroom, it'll drop into your soil.
And bat guano is the best fertilizer in the world.
Wow! Because of bats, it's gonna be a great year for zucchini.
And less mosquito bites.
And for discovering even more secrets about bats.
And for awesome creature powers.
And incredible creature rescues.
I've always loved hanging with bats.
Now that's a great batitude.
Little brown bats are so great. They hang upside down throughout the day, sleeping. I know what you're thinking. How can they hang there when they're sound asleep?
Because a bat has claws that hook backwards. So all the little brown bat has to do is hook his claws into a crevice and hang. Sound asleep.
And check out these wings. A bat wing is skin stretched out between long, skinny fingers. Yeah, and those wings, they give this little brown bat the power to fly through the night and catch bugs right out of the air. You can see his tail right there, and the skin stretching between the hind leg and the tail forms a net that he can use to scoop up insects. But there's one problem. Healthy little brown bats like this guy are becoming more and more rare because they're being attacked by a fungus which causes a disease called white nose syndrome. White nose syndrome is spreading so fast that little brown bats like this guy are in serious trouble. They could become endangered. We have to do everything we can to help them. You thinking what I'm thinking, bro? Oh yeah. Let's gather up some Wild Kratts kids.
Who wants to build a bat house?
Yeah!
All right, come on. This is gonna be great.
A little brown bat can eat 300 mosquitoes a night. So they're really good friends to humans. And in our bat boxes, they can put their back feet and hang, just like the way they do in a cave. You guys are helping creatures. Excellent.
Who wants to put the next nail in? You're doing great.
They're gonna love it, aren't they?
We are done! We got a bat box!
Now we just have to find a place to hang it. It has to be near the woods, it has to be near the water, and it needs to be about 10 feet off the ground and facing towards the sun. So let's go find a place.
Let's find a good spot for these guys.
Good job! It's a great house for bats to live in. They're safe in here, And it keeps them warm during the day when they sleep, or throughout the entire winter when they hibernate.
You can build bat houses too and help our friends, the bats.
Keep on creature adventuring.
We'll see you on the Creature Trail.
Okay, time for the Creature Challenge. Ready, Martin?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this one. Does it have hair?
Yes, it has hair and very special hair.
Can I sit down and think about this a little? Like this?
No, don't sit down.
Why? Does it have a defense?
Yes, it does.
Special hair defense? A porcupine!
That's it. What kind? Short quills or long quills? Long quills?
African crested porcupine!
You got it! There she is. Now that's a cool creature.
The North American porcupine uses his quills to defend against cougars, coyotes, bobcats, lynx, and fishers. Each quill has a muscle attached, which raises it and lowers it. A porcupine quill can travel inside the predator's body, sometimes even puncturing a vital organ like a heart and killing the predator. That's what makes these really dangerous. Ow!
Did you know that moose are the largest members of the deer family?
A full-grown moose can weigh up to 1,800 pounds and stand 7 feet tall, making it one of the largest land creatures in North America.
Moose means twig eater in the Native American Algonquin language. They love twigs and bark.
And they're fast. A moose can run up to 35 miles per hour. Moose are one cool creature.
It's Word Girl, word-minded student by day, and crime-fighting superhero, well, during the day too.
Word up!
Word Girl, weekdays on PBS Kids, or watch anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Wild Kratts is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Find out more about cool animals
And collect your own Wild Kratts creature powers.
Go to the Wild Kratts website
At pbskidsgo.org.
We'll see you there!
I've spent much of my life searching for the stories of the African American people. I'll tell the stories of some of the people, places, and events that made Black history. Stories of courage, determination, and the power of hope.
Are you prepared to take the oath, Senator?
I am.
Tonight at 7.
You're watching WSIU Carbondale, WUSI Olney.
River Region Evening Edition is made possible through the membership support of viewers like you, with additional support from Country Insurance and Financial Services and WSIL TV3.
Right now on River Region Evening Edition News. Reports of a suicidal man with a gun cause concern on the SIU campus. Plus, a family searches for answers after a Carterville High School student takes his own life, blaming bullying. And in St. Louis, security preparations are made for the World Series. Evening Edition begins right now.
Live from the campus of Southern Illinois University Carbondale. Bringing you the news from around the world and across the River Region. This is the Evening Edition.
Thousands gathered in Springfield to rally for same-sex marriage today. Good evening, I'm Devin Kidd.
And I'm Chelsea Sullivan. The march is described as a grassroots campaign to urge lawmakers to make same-sex marriage legal in Illinois. The measure still needs about a dozen votes to pass in the House of Representatives, according to House Speaker Michael Madigan. That will be one of the issues facing lawmakers who have returned to Springfield for the fall veto session. They will meet for 3 days this week and again for another 3-day session in early November. Despite today's rally, expectations are low that legislators will deal with same-sex marriage this session.
The number of Americans who say the economy is in good shape has dropped to the lowest level of the year, according to a poll. After the government shut down, 71% of people say economic conditions are poor right now, and only 29% say current conditions are good. Americans aren't as optimistic about the economic recovery either, with nearly 60% predicting poor economic conditions a year from now. The poll was conducted for CNN. And the booming wine industry in Southern Illinois is attracting more than the locals. In fact, the wineries are responsible for bringing in millions of dollars in tourism. Evening Edition reporter Austin Bean uncorks what's behind this tourism boom.
While visitors inside enjoy the crisp, flavorful wines, workers outside are busy on what they call the crush, the first step in the winemaking process. The grapes that cascade into the machine below are all locally grown, either on-site or on Southern Illinois farms. And Blue Sky Winery near Makanda, Illinois prides itself on its all-local brand. This uniqueness is what winemaker Karen Hand says brings close to 1,000 visitors to the winery each week during their peak season.
Start talking about agriculture and what you can do with agriculture and making a product out of it. And it's also somewhat of a learning experience too. So really teaching people about wine and grapes and the process. So it's more than just a place to go and buy stuff.
Just like Blue Sky, other wineries on the Shawnee Hill Wine Trail bring visitors from across the Midwest to Jackson and Union counties. The first winery, Alto Vineyards, opened its doors in 1987, and 12 more have opened since then on the trail. Many of these wineries are family-owned and operated, yet together they bring big tourism dollars to the area. In 2012, the Illinois Bureau of Tourism said that Jackson and Union counties brought in a combined total of over $75 million from travel-related revenue. And the two counties employed over 500 workers in tourism-related fields. However, not all this money is being brought in by the wineries. Visitors often stop by the small towns along the route, which benefit from being on the crossroads of the trail.
People will come here initially for the wineries and then say, oh, I didn't realize we can do this while we're there, and bring the kids if we want. So there's a variety of things that can keep them occupied and entertained.
For River Region Evening Edition, I'm Austin Bean.
Another way Illinois tracks tourism reach is through overnight stays in the many bed and breakfasts and hotels in the area. And as more attractions are added in the area, leaders hope it will attract even more jobs and tourism dollars. Carbondale police blocked off an east side neighborhood this afternoon because of reports of a suicidal man with a gun. It happened at the Fields Apartments in the 700 block of Lewis Lane. The area is near Carbondale Middle School. At first, police asked people to stay away from the area, but the man was taken into custody safely. Neighbors who witnessed the incident say the man was carrying what appeared to be a water gun wrapped with duct tape.
And the student who shot and killed a teacher and then himself at a Novato Middle School was 12 years old. Police released the child's age today. They also said his weapon was a 9mm semi-automatic handgun that he got at home. The student killed a math teacher and wounded 2 other students before taking his own life. Other students say the 12-year-old had been bullied and made fun of at school.
Here in Southern Illinois, a Carterville High School student who had been bullied took his own life last week. More on that story in our next segment. And we'll talk live with a local suicide prevention worker. Our weather has been pretty cold the last couple of days, Chelsea.
But the sunshine has been really nice. Next, we'll take a look at the weather with Chelsea Cunningham.
Thanks, Chelsea and Devin. Well, our cooler fall-like temperatures have been sticking around, and it's been pretty nice. But we'll see that increase with our temperatures tonight at 35 degrees, and tomorrow morning, sunny skies with 39 degrees for the high for the morning. And by midday, we'll creep back up to the 40s, but not quite get up to the 50s with 49 degrees for our high. And I'll tell you if we'll warm up for the rest of this week in my full forecast, so stay tuned.
Thanks, Chelsea. Coming up next, we have a live interview with Judy Ashby from the Lifesavers Suicide Prevention Organization.
And the new Student Services building had its first day of service today. We will tell you how the university is adjusting. Stay with us.
have an artist whose work clearly defines him as a Renaissance man, and another artist whose work has gone from the State House to the White House.
This season of Expressions is sponsored by Pheasant Hollow Winery and Calico Country Sew and Vac.
Thursday at 10:30.
This week on Scholastic IQ, an interesting matchup between Johnston City and Altamont, two schools that are called the Indians. Callisto, Europa, and Ganymede are 3 of its 67 moons. Which giant planet is it?
Jupiter.
That's correct. Both of these tribes will try to make their communities proud. Don't miss Scholastic IQ.
Sunday at 5.
A father is searching for answers after his son committed suicide because he was bullied. Brad Lewis says his 15-year-old son, Jordan, shot himself in the chest and left a note saying he was tired of life and being bullied at school. Lewis says schools should be more aware of these issues.
The schools need to quit turning a blind eye and trying to sit there and shove things underneath the rug, because I've had a lot of kids and a lot of parents on my Facebook say that this has happened and they had no results of getting it taken care of.
Brad Lewis says he blames the school for presenting suicide as an easy solution to bullying instead of counseling. Jordan Lewis's death came one day after he watched a video about bullying that the school presented. The target of the bullying in the presentation committed suicide. Judy Ashby joins us from Lifesavers Suicide Prevention to talk more about bullying and suicide prevention. Thanks for being with us, Judy.
I appreciate you being willing to address the issue.
Absolutely. Do you feel that an anti-bullying presentation could actually attribute to a suicide?
That's a heavy question, isn't it? It depends so much on the people involved, whether the child himself had enough personal resources to withstand the bullying, and we've certainly seen in recent months and years the number of losses of young people, and they feel it's due to the extent of the bullying over a long period of time. They get to the point where they just can't take it anymore, and they don't have the resources to fall back on.
Absolutely. Anti-bullying campaigns have been gaining strength around the nation,
Yes.
but research suggests that bullying and suicide don't typically coincide. From your standpoint, do you think that's true?
Again, as I've seen just what you all and we all have seen in the media, that there is a relationship, but again, what I feel is when we look at anti-bullying, I feel like we need to look more at strengthening both the kids who are the victims and the kids who feel that they have a need to bully. If they had enough personal strength, belief, self-respect, they wouldn't have a need to act out that way. So I think we need to do the prevention. It starts a whole lot sooner in developing a sense of self as a valuable person.
All right. What have been the most successful tactics that you have seen to prevent teen suicide?
It seems to me that, well, what children need, like all of us, they need somebody to listen, just somebody to listen to them. And if a young person has at least one adult in their life who recognizes their value, that definitely adds to their resilience. If the young people around them learn how to listen, to pay attention, to watch for symptoms and indicators, and just listen to somebody when they're struggling rather than make fun of them or pretend it's no big deal, but really pay attention and listen, they're likely to give that young person a chance to express themselves, get past the concern, and feel strengthened. You just need to listen.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Judy. I really appreciate you joining us today, all right?
Thank you.
If you'd like more information about the services offered by the Lifesavers, you can reach them online at thelifesavers.net.
Students with questions about college life have new options on the SIU campus. The Student Services Building is now open. Evening Edition's Mildrea Hood gives us a look.
After 18 months of construction, the new Student Services Building is open for business. The ribbon-cutting ceremony was held this past weekend. According to Chancellor Rita Chang, the project, which was funded entirely by student fees, cost over $30 million.
The building is funded entirely by student fees. Students are paying for the building in its entire amount, and the building is designed to provide services for students.
Students seem to be impressed with the final product. Kari Waif Alexander, a student, reacted to the cost of the construction.
It makes me feel like I can see the $30 million I've spent on this place. It seemed like it was a good investment. I can't complain too much about it, but it looks pretty well used.
All of the building services are now available for student use. With River Region Evening Edition, this has been Mildrea Hood.
The Student Services Building was just one of many construction projects on campus.
Security measures are being put in place at Busch Stadium for the World Series. St. Louis Police Chief Sam Dotson says several agencies are working to make sure the big event is safe.
The FBI will have resources on the ground. ATF will have bomb detection dogs on the ground. Homeland Security will be in the facility with us. So everybody that you would think that would be there is going to be there, and it has a very specific job to make sure that the game is as flawless as possible.
We will have more on the World Series coming up in sports. Also up next, Chelsea Cunningham is in with your full weather report for the River Region.
Plus, it was an up day on Wall Street. Find out more when the nightly business report airs at 5:30.
On today's Community Dateline, an American Red Cross blood drive is on Wednesday from 12 to 6 p.m. at the Community Building in Salem. Donate blood and help save a life. All donors will receive a drawstring bag. For more information, call 314-422-8613. The ABCs of Music happens this Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Public Library in Carbondale. This event features several young musical artists from the Southern Illinois community who will perform different pieces of music. For more information, call 618-457-0354. The 72nd Annual Lions Club Halloween Parade takes place this Thursday at 7 p.m. starting at the Fayette County Courthouse in Vandalia. There will be marching bands, elaborate floats and costumes, first responders, and lots of candy. For more information, call 618-283-0084. A Halloween parade is this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. in Alney. The annual parade starts at the Trust Bank and proceeds west on Main Street and then south on Whittle Avenue to Bower Park. For more information, call 618-395-4311. If you have an item of community interest, please send your mail or email 2 weeks in advance to the address on your screen.
And now the forecast for the River Region. This is your Evening Edition weather.
Good evening, River Region. For today, we had mostly sunny skies with highs in the upper 50s today, and it was pretty nice. And into the rest of this week, we'll have mostly sunny skies throughout the rest of this week with some partly cloudy skies going into Thursday. Tomorrow night, we'll have light showers, and it'll be pretty wet out there. For right now, our temperature's at 59 degrees, dew point 36 degrees, so it feels pretty comfortable. Relative humidity 45%, with winds out of the south-southwest at 15 miles per hour, so it's pretty windy. And for our almanac, high today of 59, low of 35 degrees. We didn't have much precipitation, but for the month as a whole, we've had over 5 inches, which is more than the average, so we've had a pretty rainy October so far. And temperatures right now, Mount Vernon 57, Carbondale 59, Marion 60, 59 in Cape Girardeau, 56 Belleville, 62 in Paducah. So upper 50s, lower 60s all across the river region area. Let's take a look at our satellite map. Surface analysis, high pressure system sitting over southern Illinois. So that's what's keeping us pretty dry right now and into the rest of this week. So we won't see this cold front come for quite some time. And for what the precipitation is looking like for the rest of this week, that disturbance that we see in Illinois, that's at northern Illinois, that'll come down tomorrow. And we'll see some light showers, but it won't be too much to worry about. It'll go away by the rest of this week, and then we'll have mostly sunny skies. But let's look at tonight's temperature. Low of 35 tonight, winds out of the west-northwest at 16 miles per hour, sunset at 6:10. And for tomorrow, high of 55, winds out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour, sunrise at 7:13 with sunny skies. And tomorrow night, low of 39 degrees, rain and showers, 50% chance. And for our 5-day forecast, sunny skies into the rest of this week with highs in the upper 50s and 60s.
All right, looks like some beautiful fall weather coming up.
It'll be pretty nice.
All right, thank you very much, Chelsea. The Saluki women's golf team was in action at Middle Tennessee today.
Alex Wilson is in now with all the results and highlights from around the region.
When we get back, we'll have updates of the Miami Hurricanes and new sanctions from the NCAA. And the New York Giants looked to snap their losing streak last night against the Minnesota Vikings. We'll have all this and more in sports.
I've spent much of my life searching for the stories of the African American people. I'll tell the stories of some of the people, places, and events that made Black history. Stories of courage, determination, and the power of hope.
Are you prepared to take the oath, Senator?
I am.
Tonight at 7.
If you work deep in the heart of the Sahara Desert,
all you see is sand dunes everywhere. It's like the surface of Mars.
At a billion-dollar gas facility, would you be more afraid of the jihadists who just seized the plant or the army that's determined to stop them?
Just end the situation. That's the orders they give. Terminate everybody.
The true story of the Algerian gas plant attack, told by those who were held hostage.
Tonight at 8.
Next time on Frontline.
We're in the post-antibiotic era.
Untreatable infections.
They had asked me to sign the papers to let her go, and I did.
Drug-resistant superbugs.
He had some bugs that they had never seen before.
Frontline investigates.
We are seeing the emergence globally of bacteria that are untreatable.
Hunting the nightmare bacteria.
Tonight at 9.
And now the latest scores and highlights from across the river region. This is Evening Edition Sports.
The Saluki women's golf team put an end to their fall season with a first-place finish at the Blue Raider Invitational. Freshman Sean Mei Jin was 3rd overall in the tournament, with senior Cassie Rushing finishing 5th. Their win marks the 3rd straight tournament where the Salukis have placed among the top 3 teams. They will continue their season in early March at the Murray State Racer Classic. New York Giants running back and SIU alum Brandon Jacobs received a death threat last night via Twitter. Yahoo Sports reported that the threat was made to Jacobs' family as well. The tweet was concerning his performance in the Monday Night Football game and ordered him to rush for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. The user has since apologized to Jacobs and said the tweet was a joke that was never meant to be taken seriously. Jacobs has yet to reply to the apology. And the winless New York Giants hosted the 1-5 Minnesota Vikings last night on Monday Night Football. After a Josh Brown field goal gave the Giants a 3-0 lead, Vikings cornerback takes this running all the way back for the touchdown. He weaves his way down the field, picks up a couple of blocks, and somehow stays in bounds all the way for the touchdown. Punter Steve Weatherford almost stopped him short, but with the 86-yard return, the Vikings take the lead 7-3. But it was all the Giants from here, with Eli Manning dropping back, and there's the beautiful back shoulder pass to Ruben Randall. The Giants take a 10-3 lead. The Giants would go on to win and collect their first victory on the season, 23-7. And after a pair of personal fouls against the Chicago Bears on Sunday, Washington Redskins safety Brandon Merriweather was suspended for 2 games. Merriweather's foul came in the second half of Washington's 45-41 win over the Bears. The first was this helmet-to-helmet hit on Alshon Jeffrey in the 3rd quarter. Then, in the 4th quarter, he launched himself into Brandon Marshall after he dropped this pass in the end zone. Within hours of the NFL's punishment being announced, Merriweather has filed for an appeal. Hoping to avoid the $140,000 fine, he is expecting an answer from the league within the next 48 hours. And with all those dangerous hits, it's not too surprising that the NFL was a day full of injuries on Sunday. St. Louis Rams quarterback Sam Bradford suffered from a torn ACL on Sunday against the Panthers. Bradford will miss the rest of this season. Bears quarterback Jay Cutler has a torn groin, and linebacker Lance Briggs received a fractured shoulder that both players suffered against the Redskins on Sunday. Cutler and Briggs are both expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And Colts wide receiver Reggie Wayne is out for the year after tearing his ACL against the Broncos on Sunday night. And the Miami Hurricanes will play in the postseason after NCAA officials announced their sanctions. For the next 3 years, the Hurricane football program will lose 3 scholarships for the illegal funding scandal that involved a Ponzi scheme with a former Miami booster, Nevin Shapiro. Also affected by this ruling is the Miami Hoops team, which will lose 1 scholarship for each of their next 3 years. Former Miami basketball coach and current Missouri coach Frank Haith was also suspended 5 games for his role in the scheme while at Miami. And a little over an hour from now, the puck will drop in Florida as the Blackhawks hope to stay hot against the Panthers. Tonight's matchup is the first of 2 regular season meetings between the 2 teams, but the Hawks have won the last 3 times they faced each other. With only 1 loss on the year, Chicago will try to hand Florida their 7th loss this season. Chicago will look to stay undefeated against Eastern Conference opponents when the puck hits the ice at 6:30 at the BB&T Center. And from the rink to the gridiron again, we're going to wrap up today's sports with a play of the day. During the Monday Night Football game, Minnesota Vikings defensive end Jared Allen got this one-handed sack on Eli Manning. Considering he's known for his banned roping cattle celebration dance, roping quarterbacks is nothing new for this D-end. And that's our River Region play of the day.
All right, thanks a lot, Alex.
Thanks, Devin.
Up next, we'll tell you what stories are making news in the days ahead.
And Chelsea Cunningham gives us a recap on the weather for the rest of the week. Don't go away. River Region Evening Edition will be right back.
Wednesday night, PBS is your destination for exploration. First, can strangers turn out to be friends? Catch Animal Odd Couples on Nature.
We put them together. They made the choice whether that was going to work.
Then, explore how science learns from nature in making stuff wilder.
Unbelievable!
And see what it takes to create a Bentley from scratch on an all-new Raw to Ready. This Wednesday, PBS is your destination for exploration.
Yeah.
No historic piece of legislation bears his name. He never served in leadership or chaired more than a subcommittee in more than 40 years of elected office. Yet Paul Simon remains one of the most influential politicians the state of Illinois has ever produced. P.S. Illinois, The Paul Simon Story, A Life of Uncommon Courage, debuts Thursday, October 24th on WSIU Public Television.
Next time on Frontline, he was a lost soul.
He believed violence was the only effective tool.
On a political mission.
He wanted to bring about a new world order.
President Kennedy's been cut down by assassins' bullets.
Did Lee Harvey Oswald act alone, or was he part of a vast conspiracy? On the 50th anniversary, Frontline's definitive film, Who Was Lee Harvey Oswald?
We took Here are some of the stories making news in the days ahead. Game 1 of the World Series starts tomorrow at 7:07. We'll tell you how teams are preparing for the game. And with Halloween just around the corner, locals are suiting up. We'll take a look at one of Heron's favorite haunted houses. Join us Monday through Thursday at 5 for River Region Evening Edition, honored by the Illinois News Broadcasters Association as the best student-produced newscast and sportscast in Illinois.
Carving pumpkins is a tradition many people enjoy during Halloween, but a festival in New Hampshire takes things to a whole new level while breaking records. At the Keene Pumpkin Festival, they gathered more than 30,000 pumpkins. Organizers prepped to break a world record for the most pumpkins carved, then lit at the same time in the same place. The previous record had been set in Boston 7 years ago. Thousands of people attended the event in Keene, New Hampshire for the annual tradition. Thank you for joining us tonight. Follow us at Facebook at River Region News. I'm Chelsea Sullivan.
And I'm Devin Kidd. For Chelsea Cunningham, Alex Wilson, and more than 100 students who work on Evening Edition, have a great night.
River Region Evening Edition is made possible through the membership support of viewers like you, with additional support from Country Insurance and Financial Services and WSIL TV3.
If you were at $1 billion gas